Pablo Escobar, the Cocaine Tsar, the Godfather. His legacy has many names but also many inconsistencies. He sympathized with individuals he felt had been let down by the government. But the truth, as told by family members and those who spent years trying to find him, is of a cold-blooded killer out for his billions. Nobody should forget Pablo Escobar's really terrible legacy. In this video, we will talk about the top 10 sinister things about Pablo Escobar you may not know. Number 10. He stole tombstones to make his first fortune. Business always came first for Escobar, and he lived by that rule. Born December 1, 1949, in Rio Negro, Colombia, and raised in nearby Medellin, he grew up in a time of political upheaval and poverty known as La Violencia. Escobar allegedly began stealing tombstones from local cemeteries, sanding over the names, and selling them to Panamanian smugglers. Escobar was sure he would be a millionaire by the age of 22. In the early 1970s, Escobar worked as a robber and a bodyguard. A cartel commander was his ambition, and it took much bloodshed to get him there. Number 9. He used hitmen to do the job. To succeed, Escobar had to terrorize both his peers and his competitors. He rarely used his own blood. Instead, he managed a hitman network. His primary hit guy was Popeye John Jairo Velasquez. In 1989, Popeye assassinated presidential aspirant and anti-drug campaigner Luis Carlos Galán. When Popeye was convicted for that role, he confessed to taking part in 300 murders and ordered 3,000 more. "I had to kill a bus driver," Popeye told Bocas. When Pablo Escobar's mother got off his bus, he accelerated, and she collapsed. He didn't aid her, and she died. He contacted Pablo Escobar for help. He said, "I found and executed the driver. I was numb. I haven't slept well because of my actions." Popeye was condemned to 52 years in jail in 1992, but was released in 2014. Number 8. He hid behind his Robin Hood image. Surprisingly, Escobar was compared to Robin Hood throughout his reign of terror. He built local schools and sports fields, donated substantial sums to charity, paid for people's medical bills, and built houses for the needy. Barrio Pablo Escobar still remains today, housing almost 12,000 people in 2,800 dwellings, with a sign welcoming visitors. "Welcome to Barrio Pablo Escobar, peaceful here." He never missed a PR chance and hoped to become Colombia's president. He was described as almost priest-like by an unidentified admirer in his uncle's newspaper. "Yes, I know him, grieving because there isn't enough bread for everyone. I've seen his agony when he meets street kids, angels without toys, a present, or a future. People adored him, and it often got in our way," said former D agent Javier Peña. But he was just a brilliant manipulator. Number 7. He turned Medellin into Colombia's murder capital. Medellin had the highest homicide rate in 1989. In a city of 2 million people, over 2,600 individuals were killed in 1 year. The town was controlled by the cocaine empire, according to former U.S. Ambassador Charles Anthony Gillespie, in 1985 to 1988. Colombia had developed a class of assassins. In Spanish, they are sicarios or hired killers. Generally, these are kids, street kids, who were raised in small gangs and taught to kill. A rifle was used to test them. They would ride up behind someone on a motorcycle, point their guns towards the back of their heads or the rear windows of cars and fire. Or while the vehicle was stopped at a light. The victim is dead if the car is not armored or has no armor plate. That's it. Medellin had primarily surrendered to the drug lords. Number 6. He killed 107 people aboard a plane. In 1989, an explosion on Avianca Flight 203 to Cali killed 101 passengers and 6 crew members. The Boeing 727 crash in Bogotá was Colombia's bloodiest single criminal strike in decades. Escobar organized the bombing to kill presidential contender Cesar Gaviria Trujillo. Trujillo, however, was not on the airplane and became Colombia's president. After the attack killed 2 Americans, the Bush administration began looking for Escobar to bring him to justice. In a phone call to Radio Caracol shortly after the incident, a witness described seeing a jet explode in the air and bodies, baggage droppings from the sky. Number 5. His bombing trail also killed children. The bombing killed 20 people, including 4 children, and injured 70 others in early 1993. A remote-controlled bomb planted in a stolen van detonated outside a bookstore where small children were shopping for school supplies. Military intelligence has confirmed Escobar planned and executed the bombing, a presidential spokeswoman stated. They listened when Escobar warned the Colombian authorities that he would generate mass panic if not given the same political rights as left-wing guerrillas. Intelligence information indicates that narco-terrorist Pablo Escobar and his deadly organization are responsible for this murderous act, President Gaviria added. But the government and people will not be intimidated. Number 4. Underage girls. Pablo Escobar married Maria Victoria Henao in 1976 before he joined the organization. They were 26 and 15. Sex with young females lasted long after Escobar married. His guys, called Los Señuelos, meaning bait, gathered underage females from underprivileged districts to bring to parties. After one of his filthy orgies, authorities found the dead 24 young girls, and they are all under 19. To avoid serving his sentence after surrendering, he erected his own luxury prison, La Catedral, in 1991. Even the Colombian police were barred from 5 kilometers of the site. Escobar reportedly continued to have young girls sent to his luxury prison for his personal amusement. Number 3. His family went through hell. Escobar's wife and children had to flee to Argentina even after his death. Juan Pablo became Juan Sebastián Mauro King Santos, and Maria Henao became Maria Santos Caballero. They were both arrested for money laundering in 2000 and sentenced to 15 months in prison before being released for lack of evidence. "I am a Colombian prisoner in Argentina," Escobar's wife added. They want to try Pablo Escobar to show that Argentina is fighting drug trafficking. Juan Sebastián told Euronews about his father. It appears that Pablo Escobar's image has been manipulated to tell false stories about him. "It's up to me, as his son, to expose Escobar. It's a truth that makes my father look much worse than in the movies." Number 2. Bribing the Colombian government. Escobar was feared enough to bribe politicians, bureaucrats, and judges. Those who could not be bribed with money were shot and killed. The hunt for the world's most incredible outlaw, Pablo, was chronicled by Mark Bowden in his book Killing Pablo: The Hunt for the World's Greatest Outlaw.
The influx of unlawful American funds prompted the country's elite to explore ways to profit without breaching the law.
The administration of President Alfonso López Michelsen allowed the central bank to open a side window that allowed unrestricted dollar conversions to pesos. The government acquiesced by turning a blind. Number 1. His own brother turned against him. Pablo Escobar, the infamous cartel boss and murderous drug runner, are well known to most people. However, few people are familiar with his older brother Oberto Escobar. Having said that, it's reasonable to say that both of the Escobar brothers made an indelible mark on the drug trade. During its heyday, the elder Escobar served as an acting accountant for the Medellin cartel. He later spent more than a decade in prison for his involvement in the drug trafficking organization. Roberto Escobar, Escobar's former accountant brother, turned him on during his capture. His son, Juan Sebastián Mauro King Santos, said in Pablo Escobar, "My father, that is Uncle Roberto Escobar, a D informant, helped deliver him to his enemies, his siblings, even his mother." Sadly, it was not about family values, respect, company, and affection. The Cali cartel, the U.S. and Colombian governments, and Roberto separated the Medellin cartel. It turned Escobar's closest allies into foes. On December 2, 1993, after 16 months of following Escobar, he was shot dead on a Medellin rooftop by his son. More than 25,000 people attended the kingpin's funeral. Locals cried and moaned, celebrating the murdered drug boss as a savior of the impoverished. The New York Daily News said, "His mausoleum in Itagüi's Cementerio Jardines Montes Acro is the second most visited." At the moment, Roberto Escobar spends his days giving tours of the house where he and his brother used to leave back during the heyday of the Medellin cartel for $30 a person. The opportunity to interact with the man who was at it all may be a thrill for narco-tourists. Still, celebrating a culture that they believe has killed thousands of innocent people has outraged many Colombians. What are your thoughts about these sinister sides of Pablo Escobar? Tell us in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.